Morning, everybody. This week we're going to be focused on Chapter 6, and I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an overview of the chapter. As many of you can see or have probably already read, it's a little bit shorter than the previous few chapters, only about 25-30 pages, but those pages are pretty action-packed. There's a lot of really interesting things to look at in regards to this chapter. I think one thing that's definitely interesting, worth considering, is the politeness theory that's outlined on page 175. This is a pretty well-cited theory in communication that talks about how we kind of use different strategies for different face-saving situations, or face-giving, if you will, which we'll get into later. A second thing that's really interesting, that's kind of hidden in the book, it's really not made much of a big deal about, but it's kind of worth a good look, is on pages 177 through 181. The book talks about how face-saving impacts flexibility in conflicts. In other words, how does our desire to save face possibly negatively impact our conflict interaction, because we have this extra thing with the conflict. Not only is there the conflict issue, now we also have relationships to worry about within the conflict. So that's an interesting part of the chapter. I think it's kind of unheralded. And also, the last two things I think are really interesting is page 188, we talk about face-saving frames, which certainly don't capture every way that we try to save face, but certainly does a good number towards explaining the ways we try to save face. And the last concept I really think is an important one, especially as we go through conflicts and moving on from this class in our own personal lives, is face-giving strategies. They run from page 192 to 196, and it's one of those situations where if we learn to give people face, if you will, which is defined in Chapter 6, it's a good strategy to kind of avoid conflicts that don't necessarily need to happen, and it's kind of a preventative strategy. So I think those things are pretty interesting concerning Chapter 6, and I wish you good luck, and good luck on exam 2. Have a great week.